At the gas station. I am in New Jersey and just went to the doctor. I decided to fill up here. I have about a half a tank, but whenever I get a chance to get cheaper gas, I'll certainly do so. $3.15 here. It's $3.29 where I am. So a couple cents. It's funny kind of how some people, especially when you become an adult and you start driving and you pay your own bills and everything else, and you want to get the best gas price possible. And I know people who go miles out of their way to save like 5 cents on a gallon, but then they'll get like a $7 coffee, take 2 sips and throw it out. You know what I mean? Or spend, 40 bucks on lunch. So it's just kind of funny how we prioritize money. But anyway, so I'm in Jersey. I had to go to a doctor up here for what's it called? Not a sonogram, an ultrasound. That's right. An ultrasound, it's what pregnant women get. They put the jelly on your belly and they use a little tool and they bounce, sounds like it echoes and it gives an image. So I did one of those things because I have elevated numbers in my blood work and my doctor wants to see if I have fatty liver. So I'm fatty and I know I have a liver. I'm just hoping I don't have fatty liver, even though I think that's reversible. But, just checking it out. So the reason I'm making the video is because I had a funny experience. So the first part was my neck knife. Of course, I'm in Jersey. I know I'm going to Jersey. I purposely don't carry my gun. I do keep a gun in my vehicle, which is fine. Passing through New Jersey, I can't stay overnight like that. But I don't have one on my person. It's something I have to be very conscious about because, openly admitting that I've carried where I shouldn't have before on accident because I just don't think about it. It's part of my life. I carry a gun like people carry keys or a wallet, It's just always with me. I don't see it as a big deal anymore. But, a lot of people would obviously freak out if they saw it. And clearly, I don't want to get a felony or anything. So these days, I'm much better about it. I don't forget. So long story short, I don't have the gun. So my EDC, it changes quite a bit. I like to pocket carry my pistols now way more often than I carry with a holster on the, inside the waistband. It's just way more convenient. It really depends on my situation. Day to day, I'd say it's probably like maybe a 40% chance I'm going to carry a full-size pistol inside the waistband and more of a 60% chance I'm going to pocket carry something like the Glock 43, a subcompact of sorts. Obviously, full-size pistol, you have a much more capacity, which is great, even a better grip, that whole thing, right? But this video is not about what I'm carrying. It's the fact I don't have my gun. So what I have is my car keys, which a lot of times I'll keep in my cargo pocket, but I'm now keeping it in my front right pocket, along with a full-size folder. I have my neck knife. I have my, multi-tool carrier or organizer rather, that's in my cargo pocket where the keys would be. So, the setup's all different, right? So I go in for my ultrasound, and the first thing the nurse sees, I sign my papers or whatever, and they call me in. So I go into the room with her, and the first thing she looks right at is my neck knife. And I always said this, I think it's funny, because if you're a girl with like big breasts and, summertime, you wear an open shirt, you have lots of cleavage, that must be what it feels like. Just everyone's looking at your tits. That's how I feel, because anytime I see someone, I look people in the eye when I'm talking to them, and they're just staring down at my neck knife. I'm like, come on, lady, my eyes are up here. So immediately, she looks like kind of weird about it. Like, what are you doing with a knife on your chest? I get that quite frequently. Most people don't say anything. She didn't say anything, but I said to her, if this makes you feel more comfortable, I'll hang this up with my jacket. And she's like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So, it's not a big deal to me. I don't really care either way. I'm getting a medical procedure. If anything, it would be in the way. So I hung on my jacket, hung on my neck knife. I lay down, lift up my shirt, get my big old belly out there. She throws on the jelly on the belly and goes to work. And I'm thinking like, it's not a big deal. I'm just going to rub around my belly, take a couple pictures, and that's it. So she's like digging in, man. She's like really kind of just like, here's my stomach. She's, doing the image thing, but she's putting pressure down. And then she has me roll on my side. And when I rolled on my side, immediately my keys in my pocket were digging into my leg. Now I could have stopped and take my keys out and all that stuff, but I just dealt with it because I thought it'd be like a second, and it took like 5 minutes, and it was killing my leg. And I'm just trying to stay quiet. I'm not trying to be a nuisance. I just want to get this thing done and get out. And then I rotate in like a different position my leg just a little bit to get the pressure off the keys digging into my thigh and my keychain tools. And then it was my cargo pocket. Then I had my little organizer and those tools digging into my leg. So then I went back on my back, and then I flipped on the other side, and then my phone was digging into my leg. So I just thought it was kind of funny. It was an interesting situation that my EDC, the fact that my pockets are always filled with crap, it became an inconvenience in that particular sense where it's just digging into me. And I wanted to make a video talking about it a little bit and see if you guys have had that experience. Have you been to a doctor and you have like a loaded EDC and something similar? You had to lay on your side and like it's digging into your legs, or are you in other situations in life where, of course, people who carry, especially inside the waistband, where your gun might dig into you. If you carry a fixed blade, it might dig into your side when you're doing certain things, certain activities. It's difficult when you go to a gym or work out. I mean, because I carry a neck knife, even at the gym, I always carry a neck knife, and it's not a big deal. But if you rely on using your pockets for your knife, it's bouncing around, especially I know people who still like to carry when they go for jogs. Now I haven't jogged since I was a teenager, but even when I go for walks, it's not a big deal. But if you're that physical and your stuff's bouncing around, it creates problems. Most people aren't like this. We're a small little group who have a quote EDC, right? We have the stuff in our pockets that we have to worry about, and sometimes it's inconvenient. It's certainly the case. For a lot of people, it's the weight. Just the sheer weight of having stuff in your pockets is inconvenient. So I was curious about your stories, if you ever had any about your EDC. Maybe things falling out. That happens all the time. You bend over, your flashlight falls out, people's guns fall out occasionally. Hopefully that's not the case. That's a little more rare. But, things happen. People's wallet fall out, people lose their wallet, lose your keys, all that kind of stuff. As far as my keys go, I do keep a little air tag on there just in case I lose my keys. I mean, obviously I'm not going very far because I can't get in my car or the truck and drive away, but it's just, it's good to keep track of things that way. Some people put them in their wallet. If you got kids, some people put them in their shoes. There's like special shoes now if you got little kids where you can hide an air tag in there in case they get abducted or something. I mean, that's awesome. That's pretty cool technology. So anyway, just an interesting story. I figured you guys might have stories yourself you want to share. Also, before I go, I forgot I was in Jersey. So the little attendant here who pumps your gas for you. And it's funny because I spent half my life. I grew up in New Jersey. I was so used to it back then, and it felt weird because I'd pull into gas stations in Pennsylvania and be waiting for someone to come pump my gas, and no one is there to do that. And it's the opposite now. I'm so used to pumping my own gas for years and years now, decades, that when I come to Jersey, I get out and start pumping. So this guy, he was super nice about it. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, Jersey." He kind of smiled and then took over. But anyway, that's the story of the day. Have you ever had your EDC items inconvenience you in a way? I'd love to hear your stories. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and fingers crossed. Hopefully I don't have fatty liver or cirrhosis or anything. But that happens to people. So, I'll deal with it, whatever it is. Here's a little bonus footage for you. I've been sitting at this light for 10 minutes. I have no idea what's going on up there. I can only assume it was an accident. Traffic is not moving at all. This sucks. So yeah. Now I'm curious. Luckily, I'm not in a rush for anything. But yeah, I see a tow truck there, so obviously someone got into an accident. They're gonna, they're scrambling to hook up a car or something, a wreck, drag it out of the road. Well, here we go. The say tow truck's moving. Oh, that's good news. Yep. It happens. This is boring, isn't it? It certainly is. All right, let's see. You get a shot of what's going on here. What's on the flatbed? We have... Oh, come on. That's barely damaged. Oh, maybe not. Whoop. Hello. It's funny because immediately when the light was green, but then it went red, like one cycle, half this line all turned around like, screw this, I gotta go another way, it's gonna be hours. 10 minutes, that's all. All right, well, the hubbub is over. That's all. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Well, let's see. Oh, they're putting sand down. Maybe there's a fire or something, or liquids. Well, of course, I gotta hang low, hang low. All right, there we go. So, the excitement's over. Have a day great, guys. Have a great day. Hopefully you're not stuck in traffic. See you later.